All right, guys, we are installing the external transmission cooler on the Gen today. All right, straightforward, hopefully pretty simple. And yeah, this transmission cooler, ideally, since I've recently got a refurbished transmission, well, not refurbished, but it was used. It had about, I think, 69,000 miles on it. So, excuse me, not refurbished, used, but lightly used transmission. But hopefully this transmission cooler today will allow me to keep the transmission temperatures down as I shift through the gears. And I drive the car a little bit harder. So yeah, we'll get straight to it. I just popped the hood. Now the first thing I'm gonna do is take off the grill. And then, yeah, once we take off the grill, we'll identify the return line and go from there. And yeah, also sure, once I take off the grill, all of the materials I'm using today, so you guys, have an idea of what you might need if you're gonna do this job yourself. All right, guys, just a quick look at some of the materials that we're gonna use today to get the job complete. We have some zip ties, obviously, to hold up the return line once we unhook it, to hold it upwards so that we're not losing any transmission fluid. We have some clamps because we're gonna obviously need those to clamp on our hoses to keep them tight. We have some SP4 because we're gonna need to fill our transmission cooler, which is right there, up with some of that. We have a duster, an electric duster, because we wanna make sure our hoses in our transmission cooler are completely clean and have no, get this fly off me, no trash or debris inside of them. So use your duster before you mount any hoses, and also use your duster in this because this has been sitting for a little while. So use it in this as well. Some brass fittings so that we can connect the hoses and make them longer and keep the system running smoothly. I have a funnel so I can obviously funnel some of this fluid into the Hayden transmission cooler. This is like a standard, I think 9.5 by 11. It's like $50. It's a very simple, straightforward one that you can buy on eBay or Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. It comes with the mounting kit as well, which has the mounting brackets. I also have a flathead, just as I needed. I have some additional tubing. This is 3/8 hose, which will be used on the external transmission cooler, and will also be connecting to our original hoses on the vehicle to get everything situated. And yeah, I have some additional, like obviously a knife and just a box cutter if I need to cut anything off or make any quick adjustments, and a couple screwdrivers just in case anything else. Oh, and the last piece right here, how can I forget? We'll have some Teflon tape, because just in case maybe these are a little bit too small for the hoses. Obviously want to make sure there's no leaks if you guys are plumbers out there or anything of that nature. I'm sure you know that the Teflon tape is something that is important. So use the Teflon tape. I'll be wrapping it around both sides to make sure that there's no leaks. And yeah, let's get started, guys. Come on. All right, guys. So we have two lines that we're working with here. 1, 2. One line that we're going to leave alone is this line right here. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this line and we'll get started. Once I remove this line, then I will have to basically use my zip tie contraption to keep this line staying, lifted up so I'm not losing any fluid, and then we'll go from there. Once I have everything set up, I'll show you guys what we're gonna do next. All right, guys, as you can see, we got the return line off right there. Again, it's not a waiting game, so be really efficient when you do it. As you can see, the oil is the transmission fluid's right at the top right there. Again, just squeeze it off. You don't have to be too rough on the hose. Remove the clamp, move it back a little bit. I put a little bit of water also on the hose too to help it out. But it got off, it's smoothed off pretty easy. So now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is connect this return line that you can see right here to one of these hoses, right? Which has a T-fitting on it. And then once I connect it to one of these hoses that has a T-fitting on it, I'll go ahead and connect that hose into one side of the transmission cooler. And I'm also gonna go ahead and need to fill up the transmission cooler with a little bit of this SP4 that you guys can see here before I fully close the system and mount it. So yeah, that's what I'll do next. All right, quick look at exactly what I was just explaining to you guys. So this is gonna be transmission cooler. This will be most likely the hose that I decide to use with that brass T-fitting on it. So let's go ahead and get this connected and get some things set up here and get this filled up with the fluid. All right, guys, this is what one of my brass fittings looks like, just to give you a heads up with the Teflon tape wrapped around it. So we'll go ahead and drop this in, and should be a nice snug fit. There we go. Beautiful. Perfect. No leaks. No leaks. All right, so we'll go ahead and fit this 3/8 hose on here on this side. Make sure it is, I'm actually gonna throw another clamp on here as I said. So I have 2 clamps and then another one, so it'll be 3 clamps. And then yeah, we'll make sure that this side is snug as well. See if I need to put any more Teflon tape on the end of this real quick. And if I do, I'll add some, but if not, then we'll clamp it all up and we'll get to the next step. All right, guys, so just to preface, I have this fully set up now. Here, let me show you guys on this side. It's got 3 nice clamps on it in a row. This shouldn't be going anywhere. This is gonna go all the way up. Again, I have it facing upward because I don't want the oil to fall out. But this will connect into one side of the transmission cooler. So once I connect that to one side of the cooler, I will clamp that down. And what you also want to do next, again, you're going to need to fill this up with just a little bit of fluid, but this hose right here, the return hose that you took off, that I took off, to get back on is not going to be easy. It's actually it's very annoying. So I bought extra hose. I think I bought some 5/16 hose as well. So maybe buy some 5/16 hose in addition to the 3/8 hose if you're having some trouble. And also use a flathead screwdriver. So what I did was to get it on here, right? Because it's just annoying to get it on here, honestly. Use a flathead screwdriver, get the bottom on first, and use a flathead screwdriver to pry the top and then slide it on, and it'll be stuck on. So once this is on, I'll tighten it. Again, I've already got a clamp on here, so once I get it fully slid on, I'll tighten it up, and then I'll just make some adjustments so I don't, I need to feed it through the front. So I'll show you guys that and make some adjustments to the length of the hose, and we should be ready to mount this thing up. So let me fill this up with some fluid. Let me finish tightening this clamp up right here and get it kind of pre-mounted, and I'll get back with you guys in a second. All right, guys, quick update before we get everything mounted. As you can see, as I said, we've got the 3 clamps stabilized right there. Boom. And we've got the return line as well right here with the clamp on it as well. Boom. Now we just need to feed this return line through the front bumper, as well as also feeding this line through the bumper as well, so we can attach and get ready to mount this transmission cooler. We also need to add a little bit more fluid there, but yeah, I will mount these to the front and get ready to get things set up. All right, guys, so we got the hoses fed out the front. As you can see, we've got this return hose. It has a little bit of a bend, but nothing too crazy. But this is coming out right here. And we've got this line right here. That's coming out this side. And yeah, now all I'm gonna do is fill this up. I don't have my tripod. I left my other camera inside, so I'm not gonna show you guys me filling this up because I'm probably gonna make a little bit of a mess, but I'm not gonna fill it up with too much. I'll fill it up with just a little bit, but I think you guys get the idea. It'll look something similar to this once I get everything set up. And so yeah, let me go ahead and start filling this up, get the clamps on, and start getting everything mounted up. And I'll get back with you guys in a second. All right, guys, so we're about to fill this up with some fluid. I just threw some Teflon tape on the trans cooler because I'm not trying to lose this fluid. Honestly, this fluid's really expensive. So just put some Teflon tape on there so you're not losing any fluid, and start filling it up a little bit. And I'll fill it up and then slap these hoses on, and then we'll just mount it as the last step. Get back with you guys in 3, 2, 1. All right, guys, so I'm almost done mounting this thing. These are the little mounting pins that you can use to mount them. Now, I'm realizing when I'm mounting these that these will push all the way through, and there's like a little cap on the end to screw it on just to make sure it doesn't fall out. But watch out because there's your fan behind here. So when you're pushing this through and getting this mounted, you're going to need to cut, depending on where you mount it, you might need to cut it to about this size. It's relatively short compared to how much was on it. This was the original, but I had to cut it pretty much in half so that I could fit it through here so that it's poking through the back, but not restricting my fan, because you don't want to break your fan from these little stupid brackets over time. So just make sure you'll probably need to readjust these and cut them so that they fit and they're not really interfering at all with the fan. All right, guys. So we are behind the radiator, right? Where the fan is, right? So this is exactly what I was talking about, guys. This is why you have to make sure that you cut the bracket so that it doesn't interfere with this fan that's literally right here. It's a huge fan. This is your main, definitely probably one of your main radiator fans. So just make sure you cut this down so you're not wondering why your fan breaks when you're driving. All right, guys, final product right here. We decided to just go 3 across the top. We shaved all 3 of them down. 2 on the right. It's just easier to actually get to the back of those to screw them down. If there's any fitment issues or if I see them like falling off, then maybe I'll figure out a zip tie method, but I think this is fine as of right now. I feel like a zip tie might add more resistance than anything if I put one on there. So we'll let it rock with the 3 on the top. And yeah, I think what I need to do right now is just start the car up, make sure the temps are good. I don't have an efficient way or official way to test if it's cooler or not, but I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be cooler. I can't imagine it's not. I can't imagine it'll help. It won't help. And yeah, I'll just need to test it, drive it around a bit, and just make sure that obviously there's no leaks of anything of that sort happening. But yeah, if you guys like the video, make sure you guys don't forget to go ahead and drop a thumbs up. It's free, it's simple, and it's easy. Don't forget to hit the subscription button and smash the bell so you're notified when I got more content. And I'll catch you guys on the next one, man. Deuces.